Are we following the latest Joe Budden shit? The update. So the whole Spotify conversation for the last few weeks on the show. I think their last episode is Wednesday for them in terms of being under contract. Do we believe in the idea of smear campaigns?
For sure.
Yeah.
You do. This is kind of an obvious one, right? Okay.
I mean, but I put this in the category of you get what you put out as well, because in order to, and you know, we all get older. I mean, not all, but we can evolve and shit like that. So things can change for us personally. But some of those decisions that are made in the past do come back to haunt you. So like the people that you fuck with, the people that you have close to you. If they weren't, if there wasn't a good, we keep talking about this shit, but if there wasn't a good vetting process, then best believe, nigga, they can come back to haunt you. So these people were the exact same people when you started messing with them. The only thing that changed is that you didn't continue to self-destruct. That's it. You know, like shit just switched up. Shit switched up for the better for you as an individual. Yeah. And now the wolves are out. Like that shit is like, you know, that's natural.
I got a question for both of you guys though, because I didn't know that people didn't do this until just recently. A vetting process.
Oh, for sure.
You just don't just get to start coming around. Fuck you mean?
Yeah.
Like, cause now, if I'm affiliated with you everywhere, guess what? I'm affiliated with you when I'm not even around anymore. So I have to vet just to figure out the other shit and the shit that's below the surface. Like, but apparently people don't do that anymore.
No, not at all. It's even worse now than ever. Like, because, and I only put it in the context of like, people tend to, if you just look online, most people are smearing themselves into like the exact same mold. So you can easily look the exact same if you were to go into that world, right?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then everybody's going to have the exact same taste.
Yeah.
And then when they start, they're not doing a vetting process. They're going off of what they see. They don't know anything about this person yet. And this person isn't even presenting to you what they actually are yet. It's all surface level shit. So they'll get into something and just find themselves in it off of just surface level context and never get to the bottom of anything. And then be wondering why, you know, this person is tearing you to shreds. Like, how the hell did they do that? Like, now you all of a sudden is playing the victim role because you didn't do enough to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, and I can't really rock with that being thought of as being a victim. In my book, like, I would say that it's a learning experience for you, but I can't roll with the whole feel for me without giving me any background on what I need to be feeling.
Yeah.
Like, I need to know the full story before I be like, oh, okay. I mean, I get it, and I should feel for that individual. Not the whole, I started fucking with this person because we look good together.
Yeah. No, even worse. I started fucking with this person because we're both codependent and I need to be needed. But I need someone. Like, that's really what a lot of shit be born out of. And niggas be so thrown off when that person switches up. But that shit wasn't built on love anyway. Not in the sense of that it's gonna be unconditional, right? Like, codependency is solely based on conditions. Like, terms. Hey, you provide this service to me and I'm gonna fuck with you. The second you stop servicing me in the way I need to be serviced, my nigga, it's done for you and for us.
Completely.
And that's a heartbreaking thing to sort of have play out in full. So for anybody that hasn't been following the Joe Budden Spotify contract thing has been some of the most fascinating shit because of where podcasting is moving to, the amount of ad revenue that's being allocated by these companies for the sake of podcasts. It's some television shit. Like it's going to break ground. Like I hope everyone's watching this close, and we've been talking about it. Solely because we have a show, but also just being fans of it. Like my favorite form of entertainment right now and for the last 7-8 years has been podcast first. Podcast, and then it's a toss up between music and like Netflix or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But podcasts edge that out no matter what.
Speaking of that, Netflix is on a fucking tear. They trying to get theaters out of here.
Body and shit right now. Salute to Netflix. So watching that play out publicly, and we called it, like especially once the Joe Rogan shit hit us, like, oh, this is about to get sick, and it's exceeded all my wildest expectations. I couldn't have seen it going this way. Smear campaign was the furthest thing from my mind, but when it's that much money we're talking about, oh yeah, go ahead.
Quick question:
Yes,
Did
sir.
you listen to Saturday's
Yes, yes. So that's what I was getting to. The Wednesday made me feel away.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like Joe walking off?
Well, I listened to it first. I didn't know Joe walked off.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the silence in it. Like I knew that there was shit going on behind the scenes, so I did get that from the Saturday going on or whatever.
But I and so I guess my I'm with you, G. Let me say that first.
My only thing, and the reason why I did it, I didn't really like it, is because I get that the world is coming down at that point, and you gotta get your family in order. But I didn't like it because of what had just happened weeks prior, and weeks prior, it wasn't even something that that Rory had done. It was something that Rory's mans had done, and you sat him on the hot seat.
Yep.
And the first topic was his topic.
Yep.
And that wasn't even him.
Yep.
That was in the middle of that. You know what I mean? So I don't like when you do things that way.
Yeah.
And that's the part of the manipulation portion of things that I don't be fucking with.
Yeah.
But he's already said that he does that, so it's whatever.
Nah, that's where I was going to, G. Like the part of it that didn't sit well is how everybody else gets held to the hot seat. Not even just his castmates, but the topics that they discuss, from Logic, to Sean, to Tyler, to some of the artists, some of the black male artists who have spoken to like how they've chosen maneuver or not maneuver. Joe's really opinionated on it. He has a thought, and so to your point, you get what you put out. All right, this is the energy you've been giving niggas. So, what's up when it's your time? And what was unfortunate though, it's one thing to have everybody come for you, but before the episode, I got to hear, before Wednesday's episode, I got to hear Sin attempt to defend him, and I was like, oh no, she was better off not saying nothing. Like the whole time she was talking, I was like, oh damn, this is only making it worse. And so Joe spoke to that on Saturday and how he felt. He's like, yo, like damn, like even she couldn't come to my aid. And that, I think that's where I started to feel for bro, where he was like, he just fully was not, he didn't know what the fuck was going on at that point. It's like, okay, this is totally beyond me. But nonetheless,
Which I believe it's possible to be more in tune, and maybe that's just me being super hard on men about shit, but that is a pet peeve of mine when it comes to men, because we have an out to just be neglectful and oblivious to signs of things that we are doing.
no, it's not an out. We don't have an out. Like to your
No,
point,
I'm saying, but we give each other an out is what I'm saying. So like I just
I see
don't
what you're
agree
saying.
with it.
Yeah.
I just don't agree with the when shit gets hot, I get to hide, and like everybody else can just come up with what they want to come up with, and I'm just gonna be silent about it. And then when it blows over, whatever, I can just go back to regularly scheduled programming. Yeah. Like nah, like what what we got to do is we got to be accountable for our shit, and that's the only way that we're going to get any further and be any better is when we're able to be accountable for the shit that we did and that we're going through in that moment. You don't know how many people you can help with that shit. Sitting in that shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, take it on the chin. What? Now, you ain't got to say exactly what's going on because that shit is family shit. You ain't got to say none of that shit. But what you can do, though, is offer context on just you as an individual, what you doing now, shit like that. Like, you can offer context.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you don't know who you helping with that shit. Yeah. But the more and more we be hiding from shit and we don't bring ourselves to the forefront on things that are going on, then the more we just tuck that shit to the side, and the next person gonna make the exact same fucking mistake. And that shit is gonna be a continuous cycle, and we just keep fucking up our community that way. Absentee as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with the absentee shit. Like, man, stand in that shit, be a man, be grown, talk that shit that you usually talk, and watch how all this other shit moves out the way for you. But you can't just be, I'm going to play the back because
it's tight.
It's super tight right now. And, but I got hella people that's on underneath my line or whatever. So I got to do this for the rest. Nah, my nigga, that ain't what you doing.
Yeah. Self-preservation, right?
That's it.
Yeah. And that was the part that was hardest to stomach. Such a great show built on ideas of integrity. I thought this was a really dope, to your point, G, a helping or teaching moment of how to deal with these things, and I just didn't appreciate the way it was dealt with.
That's all.
That's
no personal like attacks or anything like that. It's just more so that's the type of energy that I'm bringing to all men.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like we got to do better. We got to be better.
Yeah, and it's getting a lot more convoluted in the spaces in media spaces and entertainment spaces and forums and expression based platforms. Just men of color like presenting a unified front, if you will, and discussing another man's business, another man's pockets, and what the contracts may be. It's just strange, but that is the topic. Like, we're watching a public parting of ways between a corporation and an entity that is Joe in the JBP pod, the pod itself, and all the productions in and around it. And so what I don't want to be culpable in, at the same time of holding each other accountable, what I don't want to be culpable in is the castration of someone like that either. Like, stand by while is publicly undermined everything this man has accomplished. That doesn't feel fair either. So How are we supposed to check one another, checks and balances, without allowing the others to completely undermine this person's ability to earn? Because it feels like there's got to be some balance. It feels like it shouldn't just be complete, like one-sided. And that's what I'm concerned about is like the lack of balance in this attempt to I don't know, because it's like you find out a lot about how your industry feels about you when you're in positions like Joe. Everybody's pretending to fuck with you because they need you. Hey man, can I come on the show? I want to promote this one. This. It's a few million people every episode you do, so you're getting people coverage. Everybody wants to. Your value has never been higher, and everybody wants to fuck with you. And this second shit goes wrong, niggas start coming out the woodwork. It's like, oh, you didn't fuck with me for real. So how do you propose someone maneuvers through that, where you get to find out what's real and what's not, and not even from the outsiders. I'm talking about from people within within the industry that look like you, that think they're in competition with you, that are like, oh yeah, there's blood in the water. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, so I think first things first. A lot of these conversations should not be something that shows up starting on your platform. Like, y'all got pre-production, bro. Y'all got group chat, or y'all just got y'all got access to each other. So first things first, you can work out whatever it is on your mind before you even get on your platform. And then you'll have like a more informed conversation about whatever the fuck is going on. Now, blood in the water is a normal thing. Like, that's gonna happen no matter what. Your job is to continue to swim to the point where you make it to safe grounds. So it's not like a blood in the water you see to everything that's going on and then you get ate up in this motherfucker. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about you being able to get through the trenches and come out on the other side a different human being. Because all this shit is just going to be a bunch of chatter in my mind. Like, I don't think any of this shit that we be talking about and we be dealing with is actually real. The only time it's real is when you on the ground floor. That's the only time it's real. The higher up you get, none of that shit is real, bro.
Yeah.
Like, looking down at all these people thinking that this shit is real is a certain level of puppeteering. They just create distractions in your way for you to get in, like for you to not be able to see what the fuck is really going on. In my book. So every time you feel like you got something to the fire, you don't. You created that shit in your mind, and you allow people that was simpler to throw some more fuel on that shit. You didn't have to. Unless you done took somebody out, bro, you ain't got to worry about none of this shit. And it's crazy because the folks that took somebody out be the calmest motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I know that speech went all over the place a little bit, but truth be told, that's literally how I look at it, though. And I just
nothing even matters. None of it really even matters.
It's not real.
It's one thing for it to not be real.
So you telling me that all of that has real repercussions for what he's trying to do, or just what somebody?
And again, maybe it's from a perspective of like, yo, this is all I have. This is all this isn't the last 5 years of Joe's life. This is his entire career. Has been allocated to this one moment, to cashing in on this. This is his cash in moment. And now that it's here, your proof of concept worked. We're talking about 20 plus years of Joe being an artist to arrive at this point, to cash in, and now like you said it, the wolves are out. So yeah, it made it. You're right. It relatively on a relative basis, like it's not a big deal, but not if you've dedicated your whole life to it. I think that's where it's where my bias kicks in. I've been working for the same goal my entire life, and I'm getting ready to cash in, and then all this shit comes out, and then I go, oh nigga, I'm gonna be fine because I got real niggas around me that's gonna step up and speak on my behalf. And no one, like even his co-host was like, I swear to God, if something happened and you niggas sound like Rory and Maul did on Wednesday, we gonna be in here fighting on camera. That I was heartbroken for bro, because he literally in his mind was like, oh, character issues. My niggas and my baby mama gonna speak for me. I'm gonna be lit, and none of them said anything worth a damn.
Okay, so all right,
and you cashing in takes care of everybody.
All right. So now we're gonna get into some real deep,
Let's go.
dark shit.
Let's go.
Monty, why do you think that if something like that happened amongst this group, that there wouldn't be an issue whatsoever?
What you mean?
Like how you move, how I move, how Lex is moving. Why do you think that if there was something that came across that table that had to do with one of us, that we probably wouldn't even skip a beat on just how we are maneuvering?
So okay, I see what you did there. That's why I fuck with you. That's sort of so. How you feel is how I feel. I'm not losing no sleep over that, nigga. I'm kicking it, coming to the show. We might have a tense conversation about it. It may be for the sake of production, but I would never question how y'all would stand up for me in that moment, or how I would stand up for y'all.
But there's a reason why there wasn't a stand up for him in that moment. Even though there's a cash in,
Got it.
You got to think about, like I said, what is the saying? Like your something. What is it? Chickens coming home to rooster.
Yeah,
what the hell that shit is?
What is it? Don't be the pot calling the kettle, calling the...
all them old sayings or whatever, right? So, yeah, we ain't old enough for that shit. About that. It's some shit I used to hear back in the day.
I told y'all cliches. Who came up with them?
It's some shit that I used to hear back in the day.
Right, though. Isn't it chickens come home to roost?
Something random like that.
Don't count your chickens. Don't hatch them. Why the chicken cross? Nigga,
Hey,
I don't know.
Hey, which one came first?
Yeah, the chicken or the egg.
Only one I know for sure is I ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. That's the only one I know.
Hey, a whole segment.
Reggie Hammond, goddamn.
Whole segment on sayings. But like the only reason why is just because you got to think about they've had time around this individual, and up to this point, yes, now things are turning and you can see a bag in the future.
Yeah.
But that does not
negate everything.
Does not negate all like the extra fuck shit that could probably have happened up to this point. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it makes it where I'm not quick to just jump and provide that extra level of shield. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even if it's going to help me out personally, if I'm moving a certain type of way or I'm a certain type of person, first things first, I might hesitate just because like, nigga, but I remember when, you know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't something specific to that, to what went on what the fire was, but it's just like how you moved about something that I was doing. You know what I mean? Like that makes me feel a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like you was quick to put my feet to some shit. My nigga, like you was quick to put my business out there. You know what I mean? So it makes it so that, nigga, what the fuck am I supposed to, nigga, you do this shit. You figure this shit out. You know what I mean? And sometimes that might fuck up your own bag. But it's like, my nigga, I'm not about to be out here defending you, my nigga. If you know, like, I don't know. I can't even say that. I can't even say that I can defend you right now. Which is fucked up. But it is what it is. Yeah. Even for the bag. Like, it's like, I would hope that in that moment, I would be like, let me just bite my tongue.
Nah.
But
that's the thing. That's the thing. You're not built like that. Like I've never seen. And again, we're talking about substantial amounts of money. So you can go, niggas, I would never do that. Would you? Can you say that for real? And in my mind, I could absolutely say my niggas aren't moved by money. That feels good to say. Feels really good to say niggas mind their business. Like, hey, unless you loop me in, I ain't seen nothing.
Exactly.
And so with that in mind, I sleep a little bit better at night. Like I'm not really worried about who says what because I'm good amongst my crew. So I guess I'm thinking from Joe's perspective. If he sees the headlines, he's like, oh man. We'll be good. Sin or say something, and I'll go on the show, and my niggas will defend me. All will be good.
For what reason?
Just, I don't, because I would hope that he feels the same way about his circle the way I do about mine. That's all I'm saying.
Got it.
And so, with that in mind, if I feel that way, to your point, this shit don't matter until you get to your show. On the way to your show, you're watching your baby mama on live make things worse.
Give it up.
You get to the show, your niggas don't say nothing other than, I can't really speak for it like that. You my nigga, I live with you and I ain't seen it while I was around. Oh my gosh, this is going way worse than I thought. And so I'm listening to, this is Wednesday's episode, I'm listening to Joe like sink in the seat. Like he's more mad, morbid. Oh, he's saying what you said. Oh no, we don't have a purpose. We aren't anyone. And like, what, nigga, yo, y'all don't hear your man cry.
My nigga was
frazzled. He went to Moon Music too, Joe.
Yeah, he was frazzled.
This is another moment when you guys gonna judge me. Is it fucked up? I was like, damn, I hope that this nigga leave and just go to the studio.
We're getting an album out of this. If the Mary J shit exists for Mary J, the depression should exist for Joe.
Mm-hmm.
It's even better because he's depressed, not because he's broke, but he finally has money.
That's
the best depression for niggas to make music.
Everything you said you was gonna do, you did it, you delivered, and now it's here, and everyone's coming for you. Yo,
you about to drop your Kurt Cobain,
man. Look,
but
that was a hot take I had. Tony's Let's Get Down ain't nothing but Smells Like Teen Spirit, just a funky version of it. Think about it. Listen to it on your way home.
Yeah, I got to go back and listen.
I did the science.
Buddy, whatever,
and now I can't unhear.
Whatever had your brain connect those two, man.
It came on and I was like, when you listen to how Raphael's verse, how he sings the first verse, and the effect they put on it, it's the same vocal treatment for Kurt Cobain, for how they treated Kurt's voice on Smell Like Teen Spirit. And the way he's singing it, I was like, this is fucking brilliant. I could be tripping though. I could be high, like,
or you could just be a genius.
Do the science, baby.
That's what it is. Damn. So you see the zeros and ones. My nigga might be the one.
How we? I hate to just move on, but it's so we've been talking about it. Like, no one want to talk about the deal much longer. Their last episode under contract is that Joe's rep is what it is. I don't imagine it'll impact his business ventures as much as, at least I hope it won't. Yeah, I'm just curious to keep watching it unfold. I don't want to speculate too much
On the what?
on his next movement, his next business alignment, like how it's gonna work.
Yeah, I heard the potential number that was thrown out for what was offered, what was going to what they put on the table for Spotify, and that sounds a lot like shit that I thought they were going to end up doing. Yeah. Like I knew it, that nobody wanted an actual deal.
Yeah,
but hopefully everything works out though. Just know that these companies ain't giving it up like that, man.
Yeah.
Not just cause.
They staying in that just because of the Charlemagne Joe shit and just the optics of black people engaging in some sort of like sparring for the world to see.
You think they should have started something?
Do I think that they should have started something?
Yeah, started a platform. Because that's two big names that could have came together.
I see. Oh, go ahead. Oh, my bad.
No, you can go first. I was just gonna say, I don't think them two can work together.
No, definitely not. But I think sometimes it's just the right partnership.
See, and so that's to Lex's point. The whole like, I wish it was as simple as like, yo, we black, let's come together for the sake of wealth. Back to our vetting conversation, bro. If it's character flaws in people, because I think everybody thinks about economics on like a book smart thing, and
that's a feel.
So much shit of this is predicated on being able to finesse. Like, I don't care if it's corporate, I don't care if it's the streets. We just got done talking about it. It's like, yo, corporate is the real street niggas. For real, they just finessing everybody. And so where people continue to make this mistake is like, oh, such and such is book smart. Get his book smart ass up out of here because he's gonna get eaten by these sharks for real. Because he don't have no finesse about him, no tact about him at all. And G made a good point. It's like, yo, that's why Hove translated so well into the corporate space, because it's like, oh, these just street niggas in here. They just whooping everybody. This what it costs here. Put my dollar on it, middleman the shit, and sell it to somebody else. Well, cool. And the faster I can move the product, the better.
Right.
I can even lessen my percentage if I can move it faster. Who that sound like? You know what I'm saying? So if that's what we're talking about, and so in that regard, every movie, whether it be Blow, whether it
That's
be
my shit.
fucking Scarface, it's always the right hand man that wants your bitch, wants your status. What?
Blow might be the most fucked up storyline I've ever seen. Because it was at every turn. That nigga mom couldn't. That nigga mom was giving him up.
Man, look here.
It was only his dad, man.
Only his pops.
Only person he had, man.
Only his pops.
That's a good.
And so that's the shit I be looking at. It's like, all right, man. In biz, niggas show who they are in business. You got to trust that
Completely.
And to Joe,
Yeah, philosophies are different.
to both Joe and Charlamagne, though, because they both gave Kanye so much shit. They both gave Dame so much shit. They both gave Hove, especially Joe, early in his career. He's come around now, but he's had to go through the journey of becoming an owner of something. The employees have a completely different mindset. Talking to an owner of something, the finesse is a little different, so the conversation changes. Now it's like, if you notice on the show, now it's slowly like, oh, I get where Ye's coming from. Because you hear it now. Because you going into Spotify and they talking to you crazy for something that you watched build it. And the world knows you built it and you're not going to be able to do shit about it. Kanye jumped over the jump, man, and Nike's like, yeah, we ain't going to pay you like that, fam. You bugging. Fuck your ideas. He marches ass out of there, go right over Adidas and run it the fuck up.
Shit, his biggest thing was breaking into the fashion industry because they say, nigga, they put a fucking stiff arm out from a long distance. Their arm is across the lot. You damn right. We filter this properly, bro. You ain't just gonna come in here with your ideas, black man. Fuck you think you are, and that's what Spotify's doing to Joe. You helped us write this contract, but who do you think you are? And so now that nigga's feeling the pressure of being an owner. You know, and so I just while I'm with you, I wish they would have started. I wish all of everybody would come together to do what Tyler Perry did in Atlanta and do one in New York and do one in LA and do one in the Bay. Shout out to Tyler Perry, by the way. He officially become a billionaire.
And niggas keep talking about, I don't really care
that's billionaire on the books, though.
I don't care for his movies. I care if you like Tyler Perry's movies, nigga. Who doing what Tyler Perry doing? Don't talk to me about if you like this man movies,
his grind is unbelievable.
Unreal.
Niggas keep having the wrong conversation.